And now it's time for Mike's Spotlight on Industry Leaders.
Hey guys, welcome back to another exciting episode of Industry Leader Spotlight. We're going to be featuring JL Carpenter, attorney at law today. She specializes in criminal defense. Always interesting content with her. You can call her if you need her. If you're in jail, call JL at 713-201-6767, or you can find information online at jlcarpenterlaw.com. All right, so today you really need to pay attention to this, because if you are ever accused of a crime, the next step is for the DA to take it to a grand jury and get a true bill, which equates to an indictment, and now they come get you. So what are your options if you've been charged with a crime before you get indicted? Do you have any options, or do you have to sit there like a chicken waiting to go to the fryer? Okay, we're going to be talking about that today with JL. JL, what's happening?
Hey, good to be here, Mike.
Well, we got into this conversation the other day, and I thought this would be a great topic to cover, because who knows? I mean, basically, I thought that if you did get charged with a crime, that the DA takes it, there's no defense, they basically just hang you out to dry and they come get you, right?
Right. Well, what we were talking about was that I don't think sometimes people understand the difference between having a jury trial and then presenting to a grand jury, and what the difference is. So a grand jury is just a body of people who meet for 3-month terms for, they sit together. And in Harris County, I think we have 5 operating at one time, but it's 9 to 12 people. So you have 12 folks who serve 3-month terms, and their job is to listen for probable cause on felony cases. So, for instance, if it's a drug case, then the prosecutor will take the case into the grand jury, tell them about the case. Hopefully they have labs to prove that it's the right drugs that they're charging this person with. And then the grand jurors will have a secret meeting and vote, and it takes 9 out of 12 grand jurors to vote for a true bill or an indictment. If they don't have the 9, then it's a no bill and it's dismissed. So when we were talking about how I use this as a tool in the defense practice.
Okay, but nobody that I know of realizes that you can prepare a defense to submit to the grand jury. You can't present it, but your case, your rebuttal and your facts can be presented, which may sway the jury to go your way instead of the just a negative picture being painted by the DA, right? And you've won several of these.
Right, because here's how I use it. The defense attorney is not allowed to go in and talk to the grand jurors. If your client wants to go in and testify, it's under oath, and your client can do that. Or you can just present a letter from the defense counsel and exhibits and a packet to go in front of the grand jurors for them to review and to consider. But if, the police are out on a scene and, they call intake, the DA takes charges, but then later on there's more to this story that they didn't know at the time, and now you're talking to the prosecutor about it, and the prosecutor and you both agree, this probably isn't a great case. Well, it's a great tool for both sides to present to the grand jury and let the grand jury throw it out, because nobody can hold them responsible for their actions. But if a prosecutor signs a dismissal to dismiss a case, then they owe somebody an explanation.
Well, this goes back to, you should hire a specialist to work with you, especially in criminal defense, because there's so many other things that these tax attorneys and divorce attorneys and attorneys that are jack of all trades and masters of none, they don't have the experience and these tools in their bag. If you can avoid a trial, you want to avoid a trial. Just get a dismissal, right?
Right. Well, and also this usually takes place in the first 90 days of being accused of a crime. So it's also a quick way to get rid of a case without the long years of a journey, waiting for it to either go to trial, get dismissed, or plea out.
Well, let me ask you this. Roughly how many cases over the past couple of decades have you put a package together for the grand jury?
Probably no less than 100.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's pretty frequent.
Yeah. And what I do is I make 13 copies, 1 for the prosecutor and 12 for the grand jurors. But something else that you and I were talking about the other day was that, for instance, probably a year ago, I was presenting in a county and the prosecutor tells me, look, we only have 9 of the 12 grand jurors here today, which they only need 9 to go forward. But the reason the prosecutor wanted to reset, I was going to present, he wanted to reset it was because it takes 9 to agree for a true bill. So if one of those 9 people had decided they didn't want to go forward with a true bill, it was going to be a no bill.
Wow.
So it reduced his odds.
So I would say that when you represent a client, you know all the facts. You have a high level of confidence of winning.
Yeah, I would not put anything in front of a grand jury that I didn't have faith in, that I don't believe in. And I have, these red covers that I use, and so they know, the prosecutors know it's coming from me, right? Red's my color. But, I might present to the same grand jury multiple times in a session, so I don't want to lose credibility. I wouldn't take anything that I don't believe in to a grand jury.
So this is a side question. For all of these people that get in a criminal situation, and then they go to a friend or a known somebody in their social circle that's an attorney, and they're not trial attorneys, and they spend a bunch of money, they put this whole case together, and then the attorney finally realizes it's going to trial, and they don't want to go to trial, and they quit. How frequently do you get people where they're coming to you and they say, I've already got my case built, all you have to do is go to trial, and then you have to start from scratch, right?
Right. It's like one of those times that somebody asks you to help them put together a piece of furniture that they already started working on, and you have to fix it. But recently I had a very nice lady, a professional. She's got a license with the state, and she had hired another attorney, and he had worked out a plea deal for her. It was going to be a felony reduced to a misdemeanor, but there were consequences to that plea that would have a long long-lasting impact on her license. So she hired me on the Saturday before the Monday plea date.
Oh my God.
So I contacted her lawyer and asked for permission to substitute in. And then I showed up on Monday and I said, I'm the new lawyer, and we're not going to take this plea deal. So we blew it up, right? And so since then, I've been able to present some evidence to the state prosecutors about why it's not a good case for the state. And I'm pretty sure it's going to end in a dismissal.
Wow. Well, that seems to be pretty consistent with your record. Do you get like trophies every time, or you get little plaques to hang on the wall every time you win?
No, but we were just talking here in the office about how we should start documenting these stats, so we have something concrete to reflect on.
That's just amazing, and I'm sure your clients are extremely happy that you were. I heard you talking to one the other day, and she was jumping up and down. So it's always great to work with superstars, and I love doing these interviews with you.
Thank you so much, Mike.
Have a great day.
You too. I wanted to be a voice for those that may not necessarily have a voice of their own. I practice law because I care about helping people get out of situations. And it's rewarding to help bring the truth to light for folks who are wrongfully accused. Sometimes I'll say, I represent the misunderstood.